You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. NXT. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned NXT last night. Not gonna lie, it was pretty mid. But the main event was great. So I shall not complain. But first things first, show on my socials.
Perfect.
Follow me, RJD, on Instagram, RJD10K, on Facebook, on Twitter, RJ699, on Snapchat, RJD199. What the hell is going on with me today? It's hot outside, that's what it is. Don't forget to follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Don't forget to follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Don't forget to follow What the Wrestling, period. Hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button and subscribe to the channels. Shout out to everybody on Facebook viewing my ish. Keep viewing, keep sharing. Let's get into this conversation. Shout out to everybody on TikTok rocking with me. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD, here on this beautiful sunny day in New York City. Man, listen, it feels great outside. It's sunny. Might be going up to like 40 or 50 today. Well, it's 40 now. Might be going up to 50 today. Definitely gonna get outside, maybe hit the track, get some miles in, maybe do some pull-ups in the sand. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But welcome to What the Wrestling. This is your NXT review. This is the What the Wrestling podcast where we talk about all things wrestling, and today is no different. We are talking about NXT. I got my shades, I'm bald and sexy, the lighting is right, the sun is out. Man, it feels good today.
Perfect.
God damn, let's go. All right, so let's get to it.
Do it.
All right, damn it.
Just do it.
I hear you. Tranquilo. Relax. So, NXT last night, NXT 2.0, we had ourselves a pretty mid show. We had a couple things going on, a couple things going wrong, and the best thing on the show was the main event, hands down. We started off with Braun Breaker. He came out, talked about his win over Santos Escobar, but then here comes Dolph Ziggler to interrupt, saying, listen. Why don't, and Stand and Deliver, let's have ourselves a match. And they're going to fight when Ziggler wants to fight. The thing with Braun Breaker is he always wants to fight everybody right now. Why don't you get your skinny ass in here and fight me right now? Dolph was like,
Nope.
and he said, listen, I'm going to fight Ciampa tonight, and you are barred from ringside. So, can you interfere?
Nope.
And that's going to be that. So, you know what? I'll fight you when I'm ready to fight you. And I'm going to show you why I'm better than anybody in this business. And once I get to the main event, you'll see how I feel about that. We then had Grayson Waller messing with L.A. Knight. Yeah. So we had Grayson Waller out there. L.A. Knight. This was a decent match, decent back and forth match. L.A. Knight got the best of him. There was one funny spot where he crotched him on the ropes and, shook the ropes on his nuts. I'm sure that hurt. The end came when there was a diving leg drop for a near fall. He then tried to roll up and do his rolling stunner, but he got caught with a slam. L.A. Knight then began to make his comeback, stomped a mud hole in Grayson Waller, and then he hit a neck breaker. But before he went for the BFT, the big man on the outside, Sanga, held his arm so he couldn't get the arm breaker. So Grayson Waller was protected. So that he broke free of the neck breaker. Then he kind of rolled him up weirdly, like he went under him and just literally rolled him over, grabbed the tights, got the win. So this feud will continue, and that's fine with me. I like Grayson Waller. L.A. Knight is a huge babyface. And it's crazy because seeing L.A. Knight, one would think, oh, that guy's a crazy heel. He can talk because he's L.A. Knight. Yeah, he can talk, but he's a monster babyface right now. If this was like the old NXT, but he's not like built. Don't get me wrong, he can work, but he is like tailor-made for Monday Night Raw. IC champ, maybe he could go for the world champ, US champ. He's tailor-made to be, because of the way he can speak, and this is why they fucked up EC3, because EC3 could have been a heavyweight champ. But he can talk his ass off, and he can work. And that Raw style, SmackDown style, he'll be perfect for that. So I don't know why they don't just put this fucking guy on Monday Night Raw, but because they could use him, and he, like I said, he can talk. But we'll see what they do with him. This will continue. This will definitely continue. Afterward, L.A. Knight got at Sanga and Grayson Waller and called himself the last man standing. But this feud is going to continue, and you know what? Not bad. Looking forward to it. We then had a women's Dusty Classic match. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray versus Lash Legend and Amiri Miller. This was a glorified I'm going to kick your ass squash match. And literally, this match went like 5 minutes, if that. Kaylee Ray hit the Kaylee Ray bomb. Then she hit a moonsault. And then Io hit a moonsault. And that was all she wrote. So, Toxic Attraction was sitting outside for this. They did talk some junk to Io and Kaylee Ray. So they were out there for this first round matchup. So furthering their feud. Dakota Kai asked Wendy Chu why she signed up for the Dusty Classic. And Wendy Chu said, listen, it's me and you, girl. And Dakota Kai continues this. She chose us. It's both of us. She chose me. She was like, wait, I've been doing the friend thing before, and I wasn't always the best friend. And Wendy was like, it's going to be okay. And I'm just like, what?
Get the fuck out of here!
She's crazy. Don't deal with her. She's crazy. But it's all part of the story. It's all good. All fun and games. Then we had Cora Jade forced Raquel Gonzalez to face her fear of heights. They were like on a zip line thing. Actually, stop the show. Where's my stop the show button? Stop the show. Because I haven't done that in a very long time, the zip lining. And man, it is fun. I definitely, you know what, this summer I gotta make sure I go balls to the wall and do some fun shit. Cause the zip lining was fantastic last time I did it. Gotta do that again. Shout out to Mexico. That was cool. Now back to the show. So we have some first round matches going on. Tag Team Dusty Classic. That was a glorified squash though, so it was cool. Duke Hudson and Dante Chen then had a fight. Josh Briggs tried to help Jensen set up a video for his online dating profile. That was some very cringe-worthy segments. Go back and watch them. Cringe in a good way. It was cringe like, damn, you corny. Not cringe as in, get this shit off my TV. So, very cringe-worthy. So, I mean, it was bad. He came across real creepy. So I'm sure that's what they were going for. Dante then.
Stupid.
All right. Dante Chen then sent a promise to make Duke Hudson pay for trying to end his career recently. He attacked him on his way to the ring. Even with the early advantage, though, Chen lost control and Duke Hudson won with the crucifix powerbomb. So Hudson beat Chen. I'm sure they'll come back to this. I like Chen. I think he has potential. So let's see what they do with him. There was a segment I wanted to talk about too. What was that segment? It'll come back to me. There was a funny segment with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Trick. Mr. Trick Trick, whoop that trick.
Respect my authority!
Carmelo Hayes came out and basically said, respect my authority, I beat Cameron Grimes, Mr. To the Moon himself, and Trick Trick. Pete Dunne came out to confront both of them, saying that why don't they fight each other WrestleMania weekend? Carmelo Hayes versus the baddest man on the planet, the Bruiserweight. And then in the middle of this promo, Mr. Trick Trick was talking, and Cameron Grimes came out of nowhere and attacked both of them. So I was like, oh shit. Trick Trick was like,
how dare you?
And they began to fight back and forth. Then they went to a commercial break. Right when a commercial break comes back, Mr. Trick Trick is fighting Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes beat Mr. Trick Trick. Trick Trick put up a good fight. His offense has gotten a lot better since the first time we saw him in the ring. He's athletic as hell. He has the potential to be a great in-ring talent because we know he can talk. So Mr. Trick can talk, but he's gotten a lot better in the ring. But Mr. Cameron Grimes beat him with the cave-in, super kick, diving crossbody, then the cave-in to seal the deal. Carmelo Hayes was mad, and he was just shaking his head. So I do think that title should go to Cameron Grimes. But if he fights Pete Dunne, he's probably going to beat Pete Dunne because Pete Dunne is like the old guard, and they want to push Melo. So I can see them beating Pete Dunne, and I can see them giving it to Cameron Grimes because he is the babyface of the bunch. So this was, like I said, this was a solid match. Nothing wrong here. Not going to complain at all.
Oh, yeah!
So moving on. We had Nikki Lyons versus Kayla. Now, okay. I'm not going to do this.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
But I do need to see more. Kayla is, she's thick as hell. She's got a great look. She looks good. She's the fighter chick. They gave some backstory on her. She can fight legit. She knows how to fight and all that. It's like she's pretty. She's thick. She's like the fighter chick. She has like a split finisher. Like she did a split onto a split leg drop and got the win. It was cool, but I didn't like this. The strikes. Now, if it's her first match on TV, listen, she's going to get better. They didn't want to squash Kayla, but they gave Kayla some offense. But I think Nikita Lyons is better than what we've seen in this first match. I am going to reserve the right to say that she's better than this first match. I am. So, sky's the limit for the woman. I think she's very attractive, and I think her strikes could be a little better. I don't know there was something missing, and I don't know what it is. But Nikita Lyons, I think, has potential. But she's missing something. I don't know if it's backstory. I don't know if it's maybe she should have squashed this girl. But there's something missing. But I reserve the right to see her second match. And hopefully she just blasts past whoever they put in the ring with her. But there's something there, but there's something missing as well. Andre Chase then told Von Wagner and Robert Stone that he lacked intestinal fortitude. Von Wagner is a very angry man, and he's going to be killing Andre Chase pretty soon. We then had a Dusty Women's Classic women's match. Casey Catanzaro and Kate Carter versus Diamond Mine. This is like the sleeper team. This is the sleeper team of the tournament. And the end came when where Casey Catanzaro hit a 450 splash to win. That will never not be impressive by Casey Catanzaro. She has a very, very impressive 450 splash. Nile then choked out Paxley because she lost the match. She's the one who got pinned. So Robert Strong encouraged. He said it's okay. I encourage violence. Now Nile has a very good look. She's muscular. She's got like the shaved sides of the head. She comes out with a chain around her neck. She's short as hell, but she's like chiseled. She has a very impressive look. But this match was a little sloppy. But that's okay. They will get better. I think Nile is very good. I think they need to push her as a singles, and they need to get her some reps in the ring and push her as a singles, because she could be the next Shayna Baszler. I mean, with that look, she's legit. Like Shayna Baszler is legit. Like she can fight. This chick is legit. She could be the next Shayna Baszler. But the tag team thing, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to move her along slow. But I have hope for this girl too. I like Nile, and she almost choked out her tag team partner, which is not a good look. But Robert Strong was there to ease things over. Now, Malcolm Bivens was in the ring, and he took shots at Imperium. But Imperium, he was out there with the Creed brothers, and this brought out Walter.
Gotcha, bitch.
And stop the show. They're gonna have to change his name back. You know why? Because it makes no sense.
Stop it. Get some help.
Every time. This is what I want NXT. If you watch NXT and you go to an NXT show, this is what I want you to do. Every single time you see Walter, I want you to chant that brother's name. Walter. They keep trying to say Gunther. My name is Gunther. No.
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
Your name is Walter because us, the fans, said it's Walter. So you know what?
Get the fuck out of here.
Every NXT show, chant Walter, and make sure WWE hears it at every show so we can get this brother his name back, because this is stupid.
You stupid.
So Walter came out and said, doesn't matter who wins the Dusty, doesn't matter if the Creed brothers win the Dusty Classic, they ain't beating Imperium. And he proceeded to him up Mr. Malcolm Bivens when Solo Sika came out of nowhere. Shout out to Oos, because we the ones. Shout out to Solo Sika. He came out and super kicked the holy hell out of Walter. And this prompted Walter to take a dive. Backstage, Solo Sika said, listen, is it Solo Sika or Solo Sikoa? I think it's Solo Sikoa. Sorry. If I'm messing up his name, I apologize.
You stupid.
But he said, listen, I told y'all I wanted to be the biggest, maddest man here. I wanted to beat him. And now I'm going to go out there and kick his ass just like I kicked his ass today. I'm going to kick his ass next week. So I think they have Solo Sikoa. So Sikoa and Mr. Walter have a match next week. Take my money. That's going to be great.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Then comes the main event. Number one contender, Tommaso Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler match. And what do you know? This was the match of the night. It's funny. Dolph Ziggler hasn't been doing anything relevant for years. And it's not his fault. It's the way they book him. But Dolph Ziggler getting a chance to show all of us, the fans, how great he is, on top of the fact that Dolph Ziggler is hyped, that we were hyped, that me personally, I was hyped up to see him versus Ciampa, because two guys that can work, two guys that are excellent in the ring. That made Dolph Ziggler that much more must-see tonight. Because I really wanted to see how he would interact with Walter. And by God, he did not disappoint. Shout out to that brother. He did his goddamn thing tonight. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler.
Respect my authority!
You forget how good he really is because they don't put him in anything meaningful in Monday Night Raw. But he's really good. So, go back and watch this match. Ciampa and Ziggler, great chemistry. Two excellent professional wrestlers. This was great. So, Ciampa, they was working off an arm injury after the commercial break. And Dolph Ziggler managed to reverse the fairy tale ending, put him into a sleeper, but he got to his feet and did a backpack stunner. He kept throwing him on the floor. So he threw him into a backpack stunner, fought onto the apron where Ciampa hit the air raid crash on the apron. That had to suck. Ciampa struggled to get back to his feet, and he was going back. There was a zigzag on the outside as well before they went back inside the ring. That was right before the commercial break, picture-in-picture. Ciampa gets back. Ciampa tries to struggle to get back into the ring, but the cameraman comes out of nowhere and whacks him over the head with the camera, and then Dolph Ziggler hit a super kick, and he got the 1-2-3. Later, right after the win, the cameraman is revealed to be none other than Mr. Robert Roode, who came out of nowhere and stomped the mud hole in Ciampa. And Braun Breaker then came out to make the save and challenged them to a match. And he said, listen, why don't you get your skinny asses in here right now? Let's fight. So they went up in there, they fought, and that is how NXT went off the air. Not gonna lie. Kind of like this finish. I did. This was great. It was great to see Robert Roode come out of nowhere.
Surprise, motherfucker.
As the cameraman. I didn't realize who it was. I was like, who the hell would whack Ciampa out of nowhere? I thought it might have been Ciampa's next feud, but instead it was Robert Roode. The Dirty Dogs win the day. So we probably will be getting a tag team match. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, versus Braun Breaker and Ciampa. That's probably going to come up soon, if not next week, which is great. So Dolph Ziggler will be fighting Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is probably going to beat him. And here we go. Stop the show. I like this. I like the fact that they're taking guys from the main roster and they're having them fight guys in NXT to build up NXT. Because if you're going to build, if Braun Breaker is eventually going to be on WWE TV, Raw, or SmackDown, they're going to set this brother up in the next 2, 3, 4 years to be the next Universal or WWE champion, because it's coming. They love muscle guys that are tall. If it's going to be like that, you got to have these guys working with the veterans that are already on the main roster. So I like the fact, and plus it gives them something meaningful to do. I actually cared about who won this match because it had title implications. On Raw or SmackDown, Raw and SmackDown have conditioned me to not give a shit about any storyline because They win, they lose. They win, they lose. They win, they lose. 50-50 booking. There's no storyline to it. It's just, let's fight 50 million times just because. But with Dolph Ziggler coming back to NXT, and we never seen him in NXT also, it's like, oh, I want to see him against Braun Breaker. Because he's right, he is really good. And then it reminds us, this guy is really good. So shout out to them.
Perfect.
I like it. Robert Roode, former NXT champion, same thing. It shows us that this guy is really good. He was really good in NXT. Shit, he beat Shinsuke for the belt. So him going back there and having another match, yes, it's a different NXT, but it's still, that NXT crowd knows exactly who Robert Roode is. The Dirty Dogs. So shout out to NXT for doing something right. This was by far the best thing on the show. The best in-ring work rate on the show. It's funny how the best things on the show on NXT 2.0 always has some of the best wrestling on the show. You don't find that funny how that works? You don't think Triple H was on to something? It's funny how that works. Every time we as a community see NXT 2.0, not the old stuff, the good stuff, this stuff, the best thing on every show is always the thing with the best in-ring action. Oh my God. Profound, isn't it? Profound. So, with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. It's nice outside. I'm going outside. I'm going to get some running in. I'm going to do some pull-ups so I can look like Braun Breaker and get jacked. But, nah, I'm just joking. But if you live in New York, tri-state area, go out and enjoy the day. It's supposed to be a nice day today. 1:30 right now. This video will be out shortly. So, I, RJD, am out of here. But, in case you didn't know or you forgot, hit that like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to me on every one of my social media platforms on the screen, as well as Spotify, TikTok, and Anchor. And enjoy the day. NXT review is out. AEW watch along tonight will be popping. Come join me. Drop some comments. 8 o'clock sharp. I am out. You guys be safe. Peace.